Hey, this is Matthew Miller. I'm here today at the HorrOrigins Film Festival at the Galaxy Theaters. Just been supporting my friend Brandon with his film festival, taking pictures. I do a lot of behind-the-scenes footage. Definitely a horror fan, so it's a perfect combination of things to do for a weekend, long weekend. So definitely, if you can make it down, or if you're just a fan and want to follow the page, HorrOrigins.com. It's also on Instagram and Facebook.
So Matthew, how'd you get involved with Brandon?
I've known Brandon for about 20 years now. We used to work together at a call center here in the city, and just became friends from that point, and kept that relationship, so it's been great. So a lot of his kids come up, and I saw some of the progress in a lot of the events in the communities during our Origins included.
So how'd you get interested in films, and then how'd you get interested in horror films?
I've always had a love and appreciation for movies at a really young age. Like, I was that weird kid that was like, I can go to the movies by myself. It wasn't like a weekend or evening event with your friends. It was more about like escaping reality. So like, I can't even tell you like the age, but I've always enjoyed movies. I think I've liked horror at a really young age too. My parents were really into it, but I think I remember there were two movies. It was like The Gate. Was a movie from like a long time ago. I remember seeing on TV, and then like Attack of the Killer Clowns. Those are like some just classics I remember from like a young age. I was just like, man, this is pretty cool. And then that's just grown over time. And my daughter's a part of it too. She's 20, and we like to go see horror movies together as well.
Say maybe the year before Brandon started the conference, what was he telling you, and what were you guys talking about?
Just movies in general. Like, I think that's one of the things that we bonded over is our love for movies and theater, and horror just made that kind of a tighter niche. But yeah, even before this, we were both giving that recommendations or getting our opinions on movies, wanting to see movies together. So it's just always been a thing of ours.
And so, were you with him in the first year he got this going?
I was not a part of it, but I was aware of it, definitely supporting from afar. I'm glad I'm just recently and last year, I was actually able to offer services to help, whether it be helping the man the tables, or getting pictures, taking behind the scenes and getting video for him.
So tell me about your experiences from last year's. What's the hardest part of the job putting this together, and what was some of the highlights of last year's conference?
I think the hardest part is just the time commitment. Like, even though it's already preset and there's slots for movies and things, like, you're constantly on your feet and just here and present in the moment, but like that can wear on you at the end of a 10-hour day. So I think that was the biggest thing. But the benefit and the fun of it is seeing everyone's reactions, seeing a lot of the productions that people put on, the scripts, having people talk about their movies. I always love getting that reaction, and just seeing people excited to come together for a common cause.
Name three of your favorite, not the top three, but three that come to mind the quickest, favorite horror films.
Favorite horror
and
film.
Why?
All right, I like the Evil Dead series. I think it's just classic. I don't really know another way to put behind it. I do enjoy Nightmare on Elm Street. Definitely just like your dreams, feeling you like that's just intense. And then I like The Lost Boys. I'm assuming it's considered a horror, but definitely that's one of my favorite movies, I would say, of all time as far as the horror genre.
And what were the last 2 or 3 horror films that you saw this year or last year?
I just saw, I'm trying to think, I'm always bad with the names. So we saw the new Evil Dead. That was still on the top of my list. And then Beau is Afraid. I just recently watched that. I thought that was very different as far as like the role itself, and then the content, like what it was about. It was just like, it was beautiful and trippy at the same time and intense.
Now that got a lot of bad press, and that movie really kind of failed financially. Why do you think that was? What did people not get about that film?
I think people get too literal when it comes to like films in general. Like, there's a set expectation, like a horror movie should be this, or like a thriller should fall under these categories. But I feel like there can still be breaks from that. Like, there can be a little bit of comedy. It doesn't have to be super gory. And sometimes like things aren't meant to make sense. Like you don't necessarily have to have like A through Z. It can go A, F, G, Z, throw a number in there. And I think that's what people missed out on. Instead of seeing like the beauty of the shots and the transitions and like the relationship and like the intensity of all of that, I think they thought too much into it. And I think that might have been why like it didn't do as well as it could have. Oh, Saw 10. I'm actually going to see that tomorrow with my daughter. Like, she's the one that picked it out. But even series like that, I love that. I love the intricacy as, like, as far as, like, the machines, the torture. The backstory can get a little repetitive, but I think it's still creative to have 10 movies of that kind. And it's just, you know, I continue to see stuff like that. So.
And what is your opinion about younger children seeing those type of films?
I feel like it's a weird, you can't hide it from them. Like, and I think that's like kind of the upbringing I had as a child growing up. With my parents, it's like they want to shield you from stuff, but there's just realities in life. And I think if you are aware of those things, it's a little easier to like help your kids understand what to avoid and like what's more serious and what's entertainment at the end of the day. Like I see these movies with my daughter. I don't think after seeing Saw 10, my daughter's gonna make some torture chamber at her house. You know what I mean? Like she's just gonna enjoy it purely for the theatrics of it. So.
And so, what are you looking forward to the most this year with the festival?
Just it branching out and getting more entries. It's gone international, so it's crazy to see. Like here in Tucson, we're getting films from like Germany, and like just all over the country as well as the world. And everyone's, I guess, love and appreciation for horror and that genre just coming together and seeing it from different aspects. So. Yeah,
I just got out of a really interesting Romanian film.
Okay.
Yeah, so Eastern Europe, you know.
Yeah, and it's just like you wouldn't expect that nowadays. I mean, yes, you can go on your own, but the fact that people are finding HorrOrigins and actually submitting to this film festival is getting bigger every year.
And how lucky do you think Tucson is to have a festival like this?
I think very lucky, because sometimes you have to go out of state in order to appreciate these things or like have it on a larger scale. So I feel like that's what HorrOrigins is doing for the Tucson and local areas, because there's a lot of people, a lot of my friends are fans of horror, and sometimes you don't have that common place to come and enjoy it, talk about it, and expand on it. So I think it's going to continue to get bigger.
Anything you'd like to add?
No. If just follow the page, show your appreciation, and just continue to go out and create. I think that's the biggest thing. I'm starting to do that too in my own personal. Outside of my photography, I'm going to get into cinematography, and it's just going out, creating, writing, do it, because you might be the next big thing that might inspire someone else to do that too. So.
And what is the name of the website, and where is the festival being held this year?
So it's HorrOrigins, HorrOrigins.com. That's the website. You can also look that up on Facebook and Instagram. And it's going to be at the Galaxy Theaters from Thursday through Sunday, so the 28th through the 1st of October.
All right. Hey, Matthew, thanks very much for taking the time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.